Welcome dear students. In this lecture we are going to talk about the sulfonation of benzene. Sulfonation means the introduction of sulfonic acid group to benzene. And for sulfonation, the benzene is made to react with either concentrated H2SO4 at 120 degrees Celsius or with fuming sulfuric acid at room conditions. And dear students, the fuming sulfuric acid is the sulfuric acid which has some extra sulfur trioxide gas dissolved in it. And then the sulfonic acid group is introduced to the benzene ring and it is changed to benzene sulfonic acid. Now, my dear students, let us talk about the mechanism of this reaction. The first step will be generation of strong electrophile. And my dear students, this first step is very important in the case when there is concentrated H2SO4 at 120 degrees Celsius. If you are using fuming H2SO4 at room conditions, then the generation of strong electrophile is not required as the strong electrophile is already present in the fuming H2SO4 and it will directly attack on the benzene and the reaction will start from the step number 2. But in the first step, the generation of strong electrophile is there. For that, H2SO4 molecules, they react together, they produce the stronger electrophile hydronium ion and a base. This is the conjugate base of the sulfuric acid, that is the hydrogen sulfate ion. And my dear students, this first step is important only in this case. If you are using the fuming H2SO4, then this first step becomes unimportant. Now, in the second step, as we have already discussed in the general mechanism, that in the second step, the strong electrophile, which is SO3 in this case. In case of SO3, my dear students, this sulfur is the central atom which is attached to highly electronegative oxygen atoms. So these highly electronegative oxygen atoms, they will pull the electrons away from this central sulfur and this central sulfur will become highly electron deficient and it will act as a strong electrophile. And all those compounds in which the central atom is at its maximum oxidation state, they can act as the stronger electrophile. Just like in SO3, the sulfur is having maximum oxidation state of +6 and it is highly electron deficient, so it can act as a strong electrophile. My dear students, during this attack, carbonium ion is generated and this oxygen will get the negative charge. Now, my dear students, you can write it like this or it can be written as something like this. Both are the same ones. Now, in the last step, the base which was produced in the first step, that will play its role. And my dear students, it will attach this hydrogen with it, and hydrogen will shift its bond, the bond between carbon and hydrogen, that will be shifted inside the ring. Fi- Finally, this carbonium that becomes neutral, but still this SO3 group, it carries the negative charge. And now, my dear students, there is an extra step in which this was the H3O positive. It will donate its proton to this negative oxygen. Finally, you will get the benzene sulfonic acid, and along with water is produced. So in this way, this was the first step of the generation of strong electrophile. This was the second step, which is called as attack of strong electrophile on the benzene. Then this one is the third step in which catalyst regeneration is seen, as when this HSO4 negative, it will join with H, it will be changed to H2SO4, that was acting as catalyst. In this reaction, H2SO4 is playing the dual role. It is a reagent as well as a catalyst. Then, my dear students, finally the protonation of this negative oxygen takes place, and you will get the benzene sulfonic acid. It is considered as one of the most important reactions of the benzene with respect to exams, or from exams point of view. This is very important. It can be asked as a long question, and there are some important MCQs like, what is sulfonation? It is the introduction of the sulfonic acid group to benzene. What is the stronger electrophile in the sulfonation? That is the sulfur trioxide. What is the difference between concentrated H2SO4 and fuming H2SO4? And if we will be using the fuming H2SO4, then this first step is unimportant, as it is already having the stronger electrophile. So the reaction will start from the second step, that will be the attack of SO3. And then what is the base? This is basically the base that accepts the proton, and you know it is basically a Bronsted base, because the Bronsted base, they accept the proton. So the Bronsted base in case of sulfonation, that is the hydrogen sulfate ion. So with respect to short questions, MCQs, long questions, this topic is very important. So you should cram, you should memorize this topic in a conceptual way, so that the exams that becomes easier for you people. It was all about the sulfonation of benzene. Next time we will come up with some new lecture. Till then, take care.